Hello and welcome to Dragon Morals. Link in the description if you want to buy Dragons Riders of Berk. And also note that I don't know any visuals and audio of this episode and series. All rights are to DreamWorks. This is fair use, so I'm technically allowed to do this.
Yep, dragons. This is Berk. For generations, it was Viking against dragon.
Starting with a classic narrating introduction to the beginning of something new in the How to Train Dragon franchise.
Okay, guys, best trick competition. Who's up first?
Me? Actually, I think it's...
Me!
Sweet baby Thor in a thunderstorm, go!
The pacing is a little weird. Astrid literally gave Snotlout 3 seconds for him to go. And that's including the time that Snotlout was replying to Hiccup's question. Reasonable expectations. Snotlout didn't even start choking after rushing through the water with his mouth wide open.
Here we go! Yes! New personal best!
New personal best? You had to fly further to get to the sea stack than if you did this. Also, in How to Train Dragon 1, you flew from Berk to Dragon Island on Meatlug.
Go left!
No, right!
No, right!
No, left!
I like that the newer Dragon Riders find it hard to control their dragons, considering they only just started training them, instead of them just, oh, they just got good all of a sudden.
This is awesome and scary!
Bath and Belch to the rescue.
We almost died.
I know. Go again?
Yes, please.
Upward spiral! Alright, Stormfly!
It makes sense for Astrid to learn these tricks quite fast, because she also has a new passion to train Stormfly. Also, these are still basic tricks, like twirling, so it's in the realm for Astrid to train it.
Yeah, but can you do it without the dragon? Ow!
What sort of comeback was that? No, clearly because Astrid can't fly. The music kicks in perfectly to get the audience hyped. Great continuity. Hiccup was trying to train this trick back in the Gift of the Night Fury.
Yes! Finally!
But it's obviously more advanced now as he had more time to train it.
Yep, dragons.
Just a casual, yep, dragons, as if they were never a threat to begin with.
Dragons.
For Grunkle snoring, it shouldn't be able to shake a sturdy house and knock most of the hanging ornaments, I guess? I don't know.
I'm in the middle of storing food. The freeze is coming.
Winter is coming. Winter is coming.
Mildew!
He's right. He's hideous.
Agreed.
You better do something about it.
I can hear Snotlout's voice. I know it's the same voice actor, but he could have done a slightly different voice. It just sounds like Snotlout trying to put on an adult voice and completely failing.
Hey, we could put up signs.
Signs. For dragons.
No, for the people.
Signs. For Vikings. We're not big readers, Stoic.
How would signs help in this situation? Beware, dragons can steal your food. They already know that. Or, beware of the poop shower at 3. Again, people already know this. So there's no point of putting up signs in the first place. I know the chief was just brainstorming, but to be honest, he should have just disregarded the idea in his mind before he blurted it out.
Maybe Mildew was right.
Stoke is very good at coming up with ideas, and gave up after only 2.
Then we'll build a huge net and stretch it around the plaza.
Nets! You do know they breathe fire.
Which were obviously bad. Also, the chair feels really light. It's quite funny, but that was bad animation.
Stop that fight! I'll put out the sheep.
Ooh, that was a good shot.
Oh, okay.
And also, I do quite like the fast-paced franticness of this scene to really show Hiccup's stress.
Wow, he could really use our help.
We'll get to it.
In a minute.
Yeah, he could use your help. But I do like the reply from the twins, though.
And it's 3 o'clock.
Hiccup, being the edgy teenager, woke up late and started working at 3 instead of helping in the morning as well.
Okay, gang. There's gonna be some changes around here.
That's your plan? Train dragons?
Here, where we used to kill them?
Why now have they only started to learn to train dragons? In the first film, at the end, some Vikings were already trying to learn to ride dragons. We don't see that anymore. And also, we don't see many issues with dragons living alongside Vikings like this. By now, some of Berk would have been adapted, like feeding troughs, again seen in How to Train Dragon 1. I do agree that this is a natural step in getting dragons to coexist with Vikings, and that at the end of How to Train Dragon 1, it went quite fast for Vikings to synchronize with the dragons, but that's a wrongdoing for the film itself.
It's amazing your dad just gave us the arena.
Well, it would be if he did, yeah, but he didn't, so that's another thing we should try not to talk about.
Going behind Stoke's back. Ooh, edgy teenager. Hashtag relatable.
But they can't without our help. They've been blowing things up and...
I really like the body animation. I think that's done very well at times.
You're right. She's sorry.
Okay then.
Rough nuts look.
A little scratch just below the chin.
Oh, Doolittle is so adorable. But Hookfang and me,
Hookfang and I.
when I want this big boy to do something, I just get right in his face and drop that right now! You hear me?
See? He dropped it.
Proof that the dominance theory doesn't work. There should be more dragons on Berk than that. In the film and in the shorts, there are way more dragons just naturally about. But this is probably the issue with the program that they're using, so you could take or leave this one.
Hookfang?
Eaten everything. We've got nothing left for the freeze.
I feel like this is out of character for the dragons, especially Toothless.
Toothless.
So I have a bit of a theory. I think Mildew framed the dragons for them to go once and for all.
I warned you, Stoic, but did you listen to me? No. You put a bunch of teenagers in charge. Now look what the dragons have done. Caging is too good for those beasts.
Wouldn't be too fudged, as later in the series he is willing to destroy his entire home island with whispering deaths. So I kind of wish that they explored this a bit more to see really if the dragons did it or not.
I can't believe we have to send them away.
It's gonna be weird. I got used to Stormfly's face being the first thing I see every morning.
I don't like it when a show does a fake out goodbye scene. It's so obvious that the dragons aren't going to go. This is only the first episode. Yeah, the other 20 are going to be without dragons, even though this franchise is just based off the idea of dragons existing. We should call it Vikings of Berk instead. So, with this fake out goodbye so obvious, it doesn't make the audience feel sad or worried. And in fact, personally, I get disengaged with the episode for a bit because of that. And granted, this is brief, so it's not that bad, but
A dragon's gonna do what a dragon's gonna do.
Foreshadowing.
That's what it feels like when your heart is breaking.
I don't have a heart. I'm not a girl.
That's sexist. Literally. But it is in the character of Snotlout. What I don't understand though is why Snotlout acts like this to women. I know he's a boastful character and he's a foolish one as well, but calling girls weak is a very childish thing to do, and he's supposed to be 16, nearly 17 in this. And if your argument is, well, this was set in the Viking times, you don't see adult Vikings demeaning other women. They all refer to themselves as Vikings, and women are seen battling alongside men. And this is a kids' cartoon, where this is also fantasy. Anything can happen. And they're not going to recreate what Vikings were actually like. It's mostly going to be rated an 18. They're locking them up in the arena, not their individual cage. They could escape if they just blast the chains.
We are not locking them up.
What happened? Did you change your father's mind? Or are we going behind his back again?
One of those.
Hiccup going behind Stoic's back again. But this time, it makes sense. If Hiccup tried to tell his father, he mostly would have just brushed it off and ignore him. Thus, Hiccup needs to show, not tell. I like the instinct of seeing a dragon means they're attacking. Showing continuity that the dragons actually haven't been with the Vikings that long.
Smile, Mildew! We just saved you 3 months of work!
Oh, sorry, Hiccup. I can't hear you with my old ears.
Yeah, Hiccup needs to be louder for Mildew to hear him.
I'm too pretty for jail.
Where'd you hear that?
Lol.
That's why
You're getting a dragon training academy!
Huh?
Gobber! I wanted to tell them.
Subverting your expectation.
Hey, bud.
No.
Dragons can't change who they are.
And a nice hiccupy outro with an amazing score.
And as long as it takes me, I am going to learn everything there is to know about them. Wouldn't you?
Oh yes, I definitely would. This episode was close between the bad points and the good points. But that's okay. This is the first episode where the team is trying to find their feet and set up new characters for the story. I can't compare how well this episode did to the others, as is the first one, but in general I think it did well. Not the best, but certainly not the worst. The strongest parts is definitely the beginning and the end. To be honest, I think I could have been more generous with some of the points, but by the end of this I did want to get this out as quick as possible, otherwise I would have spent like another 2 weeks editing this. Thank you to all these people for making such a great episode and series, and thank you all for watching at home. Subscribe for more Dragon Morals, and I'll see you in the next video. TTFN, ta-ta for now.